Hey yo everybody, it is Voltage and we are back once again with another Dragon Ball Daima review, this time on episode 7. So, we're going to go ahead and dive right in, but just a little shout out, if you haven't joined the Voltage Crew Discord, it's in the description down below. Come join the Discord, would love more of y'all to come have fun with us here. We're slowly growing it bit by bit, it's been a great time. Anyway, let's get into the review. So, all things considered, episode 7 had a few interesting touch points, but I'll tell you right now, this episode is a setup episode for episode 8. I expect good things in episode 8. I'm going to obviously go into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, what are you doing here? But, let's talk. So, first things first, this episode is a setup for Goku versus Tamagami number 3, as we've learned his name is. This is our big setup moment, a little bridge episode. Episode 6 was pretty hype. Episode 7's a little lower on the hype scale, but has some cool things in it. Episode 8 is supposed to be hype. But we do a few things I want to touch on in this review. So, first things first, Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma, they have arrived in the Demon World. Kibito is actually not with them, as I see. He wasn't in the intro anywhere. They left him behind. But they're here. So, that is awesome. The ship basically, a vital part of it broke. Looked like they couldn't go, and then the little dude who was sent to get them shows up, and he's like, I got y'all, get in. And so they get in, and they're going to make it to Demon World. However, they are just teasing us more and more because Goku hears they're there and says, no, we don't need to wait for them. Let's just go to the Tamagami anyway. So they don't wait, and they just leave. They just go ahead and go to the Tamagami without Vegeta and Piccolo in them. So when are they actually going to catch up? We will see, because Goku's group got a plane twice as fast as the one that Vegeta and them are using and aren't waiting. So we'll see when they catch up, but if they have less interruptions, they probably can get there soon enough. There's kind of a little callback in a way to Senzu Beans and Dragon Ball that I noticed here that was very fun. These little black paws that you can eat, which are basically worth 2 meals in one. What's funny is a Senzu Bean used to be like that. They would keep you full. That was all they did in Dragon Ball originally, is they would keep you full for a long time. And then I think it was like 10 days, I think is what a Senzu Bean does. And then Goku, once again, starts stuffing his face with these. He eats 2, and his stomach has grown like 4 times its size. And it's, you know, pretty crazy. Yajirobe was the one who originally overstuffed himself, though, in Dragon Ball. So it was just a funny little callback. And there's, of course, a moment where, you know, he's so childish, and Pansy can't believe he's raised 2 kids, to which Goku says, I wasn't really involved. Now, he's saying he wasn't really involved in the raising of his kids. Good father or bad father, that is true. Goku is not involved in the raising of his kids. He was there for Gohan's 4 years of growth, where he was more active. He was there on and off with training-wise as Gohan grew older, and then he was gone for the 7 years Gohan grew up. And then Goten's been born for 7 years since. So, really, instead of viewing this, I know some people are going to take this as Goku being a bad father. Like, they're going to take this moment as like, oh, Goku bad father joke. But the way I see it is more like he's giving the credit to Chi-Chi, you know, that she's the one who really raised them. Because Goku didn't really, as far as we see, have strict guidelines or anything really for his kids. He just taught them how to fight as time went on, and you know, the morals of being a good person, sure, they learned from watching him, but he was never the lecturer type of parent, or the one who was involved in that aspect of parenting at all. Now, you could consider that a good or a bad thing if you want to, but I'm just saying I don't think they're taking that as that kind of joke. So I wouldn't take it that deep, but I know Twitter, and Twitter probably is going to take it that deep. But if you're not using Twitter, you'll probably be happy, okay? It's not that big a deal. So we get to learn about Hyabus, and Hyabus is an interesting guy so far. We learned a little bit about him. I think he's just funny. He's a very funny guy. He's very good at the comedic humor, so that's nice. You could say the biggest event of this episode is their encounter with the Gendarmerie. We do get confirmation that Goku can use instant transmission. So I was wondering that, of course. In GT, if you remember, Goku could not use instant transmission accurately until he became a Super Saiyan 4. That is not the case in Daima. Goku can still use instant transmission. Now, I got a comment last week, too, I want to touch on in a little bit, which connects to this. How strong is Goku? Now, there was someone who commented that had a guess that they were weaker. You guys know that I've been talking for weeks on end. I've seen actually multiple people who've thrown in their opinion since episode 1 debating their strength, and I have a not confirmed answer from this episode, but close to confirmed. I believe we will know a little more accurately next episode exactly how strong they are, because they've finally given us a benchmark to compare Goku to. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the Gendarmerie are just goons, and they're such goons that despite the funny little humorous scene we have here, Goku doesn't even fight. Pansy, Shin, and Glorio destroy them. They are just absolute goons, Frieza soldier level at best. Like they're nothing. They're nothing. So absolutely throttled, and that's one interesting thing. And then speaking of Shin, a couple fun things from him. One, Shin isn't his real name. Shin is his name that he took when he left the demon world, so it's just the name he took in the universe. They call him Shin. But really, his name is Nahare, or Nahare is how you pronounce his name. So very interesting that he has a demon world name. Goku does try to call him that, but it's weird, so he still calls him Supreme Kai. And yeah, but that's neat. And they revealed that the collars that Third Demon Realm wear were likely made by Arinsu. It was something her and Deborah came up with back in the day. Likely made by them. And that it is made of Kachin. So for a second, I was like, oh, they can just break Kachin. It's not that deep anymore. No, they can't. That is in Super, where the Tournament of Power starts treating Kachin like it's just stone because they start throttling it. In this level of power, no, they can't break Kachin. So Supreme Kai uses a spell to break it. A spell that the Glind naturally know, given that they're the ones who harvest Kachin, that's where it's from. And it is from their original place they used to live. And also, it's a spell that anyone can learn, so if they teach to the common people, they can break free of the collars and rebel against that whole kind of thing. The collars were a thing that Deborah came up with, like I said before, but it's just been kept by the current king, by Goma. So, it also, where they talk about Arinsu doing all this, it definitely seems like they are trying to, bit by bit, paint her as more and more villainous, and I see where they're going with this. Is she really the main villain, or is this another fake-out situation? I'm not sure, all things considered. But they are definitely building her up as an antagonist, and a separate antagonist from Goma and the like, so pretty cool. And then, the last point I want to touch on here would be finding the Tamagami. So the Tamagami has that big-ass hammer. Y'all have seen that before already, too. Goku's up to fight it, and here's where they talk power scaling. And we've known this from the beginning, but we didn't know how the fight was going to go. So, remember, the Tamagami are the strongest beings in the demon world as far as we know. They are so strong that no one could take the Dragon Balls. You would think any of the Demon Kings want to, and they specifically say by name, including Deborah. Deborah cannot beat the Tamagami, meaning that Deborah is roughly equivalent to Perfect Cell, or Super Perfect Cell, and these guys are stronger than him. You see what I'm saying? So, because of that, because they are stronger than he is, you can assume that if someone is going to 1v1 the Tamagami, they have to be stronger than Deborah, right? Okay, so let's get into what this means for Goku specifically. So Goku does want to 1v1 the Tamagami. He heard how strong they are. He has seen Deborah with his own eyes, seen him fight, knows how strong he is, and Goku is still confident enough to fight the Tamagami one-on-one. And it's even said by Glorio that you have to fight them one-on-one, apparently. It's some kind of rule. I don't know what stops you from jumping them. I really don't know what would stop you from jumping them, or if it was just Glorio's preference, but yes, he wants to 1v1. So, okay, they 1v1. What does that mean for Goku? Well, I've heard this theory a couple of times, and I am on board with it more now, and I'll 100% be depending on next episode. Goku didn't get weaker. I think Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo didn't actually lose any strength by being turned into children. But I do know that Goku was a bit rusty. His reach was different, for instance, and he had to reaffirm himself there. And we haven't seen him transform into Super Saiyan 2. They never explicitly said he was struggling with Super Saiyan 1, but we only ever caught a flash of it. Was he struggling until he fought Glorio and he shook off the rust for Super Saiyan, or was he just holding back? But base strength, I don't think they're weaker. And if they are, I don't think they're much weaker at all. It's minuscule. Because this is Buu Saga Goku a few months after the end of the arc. He is not crazy stronger than he used to be. We can pretty much just use this Daima Goku as Buu Saga Goku. Z Goku, right? He is confident that Deborah is that powerful, and they would need something higher than Super Saiyan to beat him. Still. But he's also confident that him and Vegeta, had they gone Super Saiyan 2, would beat Deborah without much difficulty. He's beatable by Super Saiyan 2, Buu Saga Goku, and Vegeta before Majin Vegeta even. So he loses that fight. Gohan struggles because he's rusty. That means if the Tamagami are stronger than Deborah, Goku in Super Saiyan 2 should be stronger than Deborah. And he should be able to fight. Now, we don't know how strong the Tamagami are, though. But if Goku is confident that he is at least stronger than Deborah right now, that should mean Goku can turn Super Saiyan 2 and that he's not weaker than he was before he got shrunk. So, we follow that, right? You guys can follow my train of thinking on that. So, how strong is the Tamagami? We're about to find out next episode, but the Tamagami to be, are they Buu level? I'm curious, are these Guardians stronger than Majin Buu, who we were so universally afraid of, but these guys are just, basically golems, they don't leave? Or are they, in the ballpark and stronger than Deborah, but not stronger than, Majin Buu? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see exactly how strong they end up being in this regard. But that's my current theory. And we see in the preview that Goku starts the fight in base. Obviously, Goku always starts the fight in base. But he is confident that he not only is he able to fight the Tamagami, who's stronger than Deborah, but he is fighting in base. He doesn't even immediately pick it up. I know Goku does that, and he takes his time when he warms up. What I'm saying is, if the threat was too much that Goku couldn't fight in base at all, he wouldn't. Look at the Buu Saga. This dude Goku was not out here boxing in base. When a real threat was out there, he was Super Saiyan minimum. Okay? So, this Goku might be playing a little bit, but he has room to play. That's what people gotta understand. He's got room to act like this. He's not just getting dogged by the Tamagami in base. To me, I think that confirms he's relative. I think that confirms he's still Buu Saga Goku. So, anyway, that's just my theory. Next episode, we get Goku versus Tamagami 3, and we will know from there. But that's where I want to bring it to an end with this. What are your theories now? Did this episode change your opinion on Goku's strength? Are you excited for him versus the Tamagami? Who do you think is going to win between Goku and the Tamagami? And are you excited to see Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma join the crew? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, leave a like. Obviously, comment your thoughts and subscribe if you want to see more. We are aiming for 400 subscribers as our next big goal. Getting closer and closer to that every day, and I appreciate you guys greatly. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all next week. It should be a bigger one, should be a fun one, so I'll be looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. In that case, have a great rest of your nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll catch y'all next time. Voltage out.